Hello and welcome back. In previous video I was almost assembled the car. Now the engine and the electronics. Let's continue. As the engine I will use this one root dog engine. I already have the clutch here. In the kit you will find the great Team Associated 4-show clutch. But I prefer to use old school 3-show clutches. So I will use this one that I have already on the engine. This one engine is just after run-in and actually won competitions, so it's almost brand new engine. The pipe is the same, and then mounting it over here. In this package I have all the fasteners I need. First of all, I will need to mount this engine post to the engine. They goes like this. Quite often there are options with so-called quick release of the engine that are a little bit different, but I'm always using this kit setup with these kit posts. I like them because I'm changing the engines very often and sometimes placing them from one car to another, and anyway I need to do some adjustments, so I'm using this. I don't need the Loctite from the top. To mount the engine, I'm usually not using this for these screws from the top, and also I'm not tightening them too much because I need to align the engine first, and then this post that I still have some place for fine-tuning within just the top screws. They have just a tiny bit of the play, and this play is usually enough to align the engine finally, to do the final adjustment. As you can see, they are placed just a little bit. So now the engine mounting from over here, but before that I will place the pipe to the engine. A small touch of the engine oil on the rubber. Last one step, I need to mount this one spring for holding the pipe. It goes from the front, and there is several screws. One screw from the bottom and one screw from the top. I'll mount this one first. I'm not tightening it yet. For the final tight I will use Loctite as usual there, because I need a place for setup at the moment. The same for the top screw. So this one thing goes over the pipe, the hole in the pipe to hold it in place, and the engine stays like this. And that's the moment when I need to cut the hole over here for the pipe. So I see that the pipe will stay something like this, so I will cut a little bit of this black plastic. I will do the marks for myself at the moment where it should go, from here till over here, and now I will cut it. So here it is, after just a little bit of the cleaning, and now it will be enough to place for the pipe. So the motor mounts over here, and as you can see the pipe goes exactly in this place. finalizing of the motor mount. Again, installing of the spring. The motor mounts from the bottom with these 4 screws with nice and shiny washers. They are nice and shiny until the first race, and then they will become not as nice anymore, but they are doing what they should. They mount like this. From the bottom I will apply the thread lock later on, after all the assembly and all the mounts. So when I will make sure that I don't need to touch the engine anymore, I will unscrew one by one, and apply a little bit of the Loctite to make sure that the engine mounts properly. Now, it's a time for the gear mesh. But first of all is aligning of the top of the engine. I'm loosening these screws, and then I'm starting alignment. So on the one side I'm pushing down this one completely and tightening the screws. On the other side I'm actually pushing this mount on another direction and also tightening the screws. I'm pushing it from the bottom. You could do that before the mounting of the engine. I'm doing it right now, doesn't matter. So I will have a possibility to move the engine inside just a little bit. So now the alignment of the gears. So they should be quite free. And with the bit of play. This one is too much. This one looks like good. This position I like. So now, not to move the engine, tightening the screws. At least one of them, just a little bit, the engine not moves anymore, and check what the play is. Looks good, so now I'm tightening all other screws. As you can see from over here, the engine mounts almost straight. Actually, you need to find a place to mount it as straight as possible. There is sometimes I saw the different types of the washers that are straighten engine, but I'm just using this original. And now the Loctite there. Engine is in its place, and now this front part with the mount of the pipe. I will move the pipe a little bit outside, then tighten this one screw, then tighten the screw on the pipe itself. Oh, there is no screw suddenly on my car. Ah, no. The wrong screwdriver. Okay, this one should be good to go. And finally, the screw from the bottom. I could easily lose it at the moment. The pipe is already holding in place, and now the Loctite and screw it back. Now the pipes. The one from the pipe from the engine exhaust goes to the top of a tank, and this one is actually the pressure pipe. I was need to put it in front to exhaust, but doesn't matter. I will put it now. It usually goes like this to the tank. With this one pipe, the pressure from the engine exhaust goes to the tank and push the fuel to the engine. And the second pipe is from the carburetor to the tank. I will start from the tank, from this side. Then I need to unmount this one. And I need to cut it somewhere over here. Okay, that should be good. So first of all, I will assemble this box. This one goes over here. It's for the steering servo. And this one goes here. And this box over there. So entirely it's assembled like this. Here's supposed to be the transponder mount, but I think I will use these two holes to hold the mount for the battery connection. I was trying to glue these battery connections over here, but I didn't like this solution. So later on I will build some stuff over there. Usually I was just used to cut this piece entirely, so I was cut it like over there. But this time I'll try to use these two holes to hold the XT30 connector like this, and then the battery connects from the top. Okay, so I'll start the assembly. And these two posts, they goes around this servo. It seems to be just a regular M3 screw. Yeah, this one. And on the front, instead of just the same screw, I will screw this one post. It's already prepared from one of my previous cars. I'm using it for the fail-safe rubber. So I'm placing the rubber here from the servo to this screw, from the servo arm, that if suddenly the electronic fails and something goes wrong with the power on the car and car doesn't have power anymore, this rubber is just closing the throttle of the engine. That engine is not just going somewhere. Now the servos. As a servos, I will use these two reedy servos. It's the latest model of the reedy. So what we have in this beautiful box? We have actually the servo itself, some servo horns. I was actually never used them. And the nice rubbers. And now installing the servo itself. The wire should go over here, as far as I remember on these cars. And I'm usually using this way of installation. And then just spray servo inside. It's not a lot of the space there. Especially with the wire. Now I'm actually screwing down the servo. Now the second servo. Now I will place the wires. So, wire from this servo, from the steering servo, I'm usually put like this, under the battery box, so somewhere over here. And then it goes to the radio box. I just need to pay attention that the wire is not squeezing too much when I will place the box to the car. So I will try to do this way. Okay, this should be good. And then in the gearbox itself, there is two rubber inserts over here and over here for the wires. Here they are. And actually it's very good to place them. They are actually required. They are protecting the gearbox from the electronic box from the dust. It's a little bit tricky to put the wires there, but it's really necessary. Now it's all with the wires. They are already in the gearbox. I will need to place the transmitter. Will it close like this? Nope. So I still need to place transmitter like this. It's not fits other way around. So I'll connect the wires to the transmitter and then use the double side type to place it over there. And now it will be a good time to prepare the battery wire, because I'm using XT30 connectors on my batteries, so this one is just one of the old batteries, and I need to prepare the wire that will go outside. So all you need, just the little bit of the wire. I'm using the silicone wire 18 AVG. It's quite thick, but should be good enough there. I'm using it as for the batteries as well, to connect the battery to the transmitter. It's totally overhead for this kind of wire, but let it stay there. Okay, I need this amount. Now soldering of the connector. Okay, this one is the ground, and the ground on the connector is from this side. Now this one part is almost ready. I will use a little bit of the VHP type that I'm still left. I'll go like this, and this wire is going out of the box. I will also need the rubber over here, but I will place it later on when I will finish with the wiring. And then I'm ready to close this box. Okay, this one is ready. Then the battery. The battery I'm placing like this. And to reduce this one play, I need to place somewhere over here. The boxes from the Ready Servos is the best thing I could use. So I'm cutting out this one thingy. And then I'm cutting it into the size. So I need like this amount of this foam. And then I'm placing it over here. And then the battery, it will just stay in place. Also, you could place some foam on top of the battery, but usually this one should be enough. That battery is not playing around. Or maybe I will use this part as well, to be on the safe side. These boxes is just amazing. Because of them I have everything I need. Okay, now I will sure that my battery is not jumping inside the box. And now this electronic box is ready to go into the car. It's one of the last steps. Just a placement of the electronic box. Okay, mounting of the servos. Servo horns. As you can see, this one should be aligned a little bit, and then this one should be mounted. Okay, I set the endpoints, and now I'm ready to continue. So the next thing I need to do is the screw from over here. This will actually hold this mount, a servo horn. This one goes over here. And now the fail-safe rubbers. As I was mentioned, I usually place them over here. So how they works? Let's imagine we are going on some of the throttle, and then at some point I will lose this connector a little bit. So, and then at some point the power is just switched off, and actually rubber should be strong enough to close the servo. So probably I will need to mount a little bit more, or do something like this, that it's strong enough. Okay, this one looks good. So it's just closing the throttle in case of any failure with the power on the car. This one part is almost done, because I still need to hold these things in place. Later on I will add the a little bit of the Loctite there. So everything is just moving free. And when I'm going, that's moving free, and when I'm braking, this will brake. I will need to set the endpoints, this I will do later on. And now the steering servo. Also I will take care about this connector, so I will do some mounting points over there. I'm not yet designed them, so how they should be. Now anyway, the steering should go like this. This arm goes over here, and then this steering part. This one goes from the bottom to the steering arm. Here you should usually use the aluminum servo horn. I will start with this one, then I will replace it. Again, this one insert. Here I need to press fit it. Where's my pillars? Here they are. These are again beautiful screws from the ready servo package, and all other stuff goes back. I almost forget one of the latest points is the shocks, so the rears and the fronts. Let's install them. They are finally should found their place on the car. This one goes here, this one goes over here. This pins from the bottom. I will use outer hole for them. Oh my goodness. I need to find how to screw down this small set screw. Okay, I don't need the power on the car at the moment. There is the hole for this tiny set screw that holds this one pin in place. Okay, seems to be okay. And I will do the same for all others. Now the last one point of this assembly is the wing mount. It goes over here. I'm already inserted the nuts into the post, into the wing post, so I will use this one plastic thing. Also the stuff to be replaced with the aluminum washers. But for the first time, first use, it should be still okay. So now I could say that I'm done with this car. It's almost ready, almost, because I still need to fine-tune the brakes, fine-tune the servos, endpoints, probably some geometry of the car. But all in all, it should already work. All the leftovers I will do on the racetrack during the first competitions for this car. That will take part next weekend. And this will be it for this video and this series. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.